Hi, good morning, A period. Hope you are doing well. If you couldn't make the Hangout, here is today's recap. So if you just noticed, obviously there, we started our class today sharing some good news, and some of us had a lightsaber. Only thing I have is this Star Wars T-shirt that has Darth Vader by Under Armour and has him on the back. So that's how we started. Some good news and talked about Star Wars and all that good stuff. We then went into today's math. So today's math really wrapped up 10.4, the square root method. So I'll go through the answers with you guys. There was two questions I flagged, number 40 and 46, that were a little bit challenging for people. So we'll go through those. And then I introduced what do you call it? Math by fives video and the new method we're going to do, which is called completing the square. Make sure you listen out for today's tagline, so that way you can email that to me. So if you have your work out from yesterday, you might want to take that out so you can kind of check your answers with my answers. So let me get that going here for you. Sorry, just make this bigger. Okay. So, and then I gotta turn this upside down. Right. Okay. So the first set was pretty easy. Number 4, you should have got, just check your answers, positive and negative 4. Make sure when you write your solutions, you know that there's a positive and a negative form of the answer. Number 6 was positive or negative 5. Number 8, what was the answer number 8? No solution. So if you look here, this one was no solution because you minus 8 on both sides. You get a negative in the square root. That's not possible. It's no solution. Might as well just go with that. Number 10 was also no solution. And 14 was no solution. Number 12, however, did have a solution. It was positive or negative 2/5. Number 16, it was multiple choice. The answer was C for 16. A lot of people, almost everyone got that one right. So you minus 13 and then divide by negative 36 and square root, and it works out to that. I'll just show you the answers for these, and maybe you can pause the video. Let me get rid of that there. If you want to go in too fast, but you can pause and look at this. 17 was positive or negative 2.65. 19 was no solution. 21, no solution. 23 was 2.24. And then 25 was positive or negative 3.78. And then this one was positive or negative 1.32. Number 29, the answer was D. And that brought us to some more challenging questions here. These were the type whenever you see the parentheses and then it's squared, you're going to end up with two totally different numbers. So this one was, if it was a positive, the answer was negative 1.74 and 5.74. Number 38 was 5.55 and 10.45. 41 was just positive or negative 4. 42, what did you get for 42? Positive or negative 3. And then came the last two questions that I did with everybody because there was definitely some challenge to those. And I noticed not everybody got them wrong, but there was a lot of people that didn't get them right. So here's number 40 and what we did today. So if you can see here, I'm going to make two parts to today's tagline. So the first part of today's tagline will be, let's make it a phrase. The first part of the phrase is baby, like I have a baby. So the first part of the tagline is baby. And it'll make sense when you hear the second half. So going on here, you had to, for number 40, it was Mackenzie that told me to just go straight to multiplying by the reciprocal to clear this 4/3. If you do it to this side, you're left with 15. Then you square root both sides, and you're left with k minus 6 plus or minus the square root of 3.87. So then, I'm sorry, plus or minus 3.87. So then I was kind of showing people, really you can just break it up into the two equations. It's either positive 3.87 or negative 3.87. And so now when you add 6 to both sides to those equations, you're left with the two solutions. 9.87 could be K or 2.13. Number 40, so that was probably the hardest. Number 46 wasn't as bad. So if you look here, but I did like it because you had to square root twice. So you square root once in the beginning, right? You get that equal to 9, right? Yeah, so that's equal to 9. And then I just noticed, like, you don't actually have to write positive or negative 9 yet. I didn't bring that up in the chat, in the Hangout. You just write 9. Because you only do that when you're actually getting a solution for m at the end. So then you add 6 to both sides. You get this. Divide by 4. And you get m squared is square root 15 fourths is 3.75. Then you square root that, and you get positive or negative 1.94. Remember, the first half of today's tagline is baby. Then we did completing the square, and so completing the square is our next method we're going to learn next week, and it has to do with this fact we learned about perfect square trinomials, that it's only a perfect square if you can multiply a times b and double it, and that's your middle coefficient, if you will. So you had, if it was a plus minus, I'm sorry, if it was a plus plus, it was ax plus b squared. If it was a minus plus, it was ax minus b squared. So then we went on to, and I'm gonna skip some things here. Everybody's favorite math by fives guy. Okay, so I'm gonna just kind of bring you right to his examples or his steps and try to make sense of that for you. So it's important that this method, when the leading coefficient for x has to be 1. Once you make sure that's the case, then you shove the constant. So what he's going to do, he's going to take this positive 1 and shove it to the other side. Then he's going to take the middle term, divide it by 2 and square it, add that to both sides. That will complete a square. Then he can use a square root property. So let's watch him do some of those things.
Well, I want to take a look at this guy up here. Okay. First, I want to get the leading coefficient to be 1. Is it? It is. Check. Next, I want to shove the constants. What that means is I need to...
So he's going to minus 1 to both sides here.
Actually do this. Over on the side.
So now he's taking the middle term, dividing by 2, and squaring it.
What's my middle coefficient? My middle coefficient
is
a minus 8. Great. Then you need to find the middle coefficient over 2. What does that mean? Divided by 2. If it's a fraction, double the denominator. Then this is a minus 4. Sure.
Negative 4 squared is 16.
That's step 3.
So now step 3 is going to add that to both sides like this.
Yes. Okay. On the right, 16 minus 1 is 15. Okay. But wait. Keep going. Don't stop now. Don't stop. Get it. Get it. I want to complete that. Get it. I want to complete. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it. Get it.
Some things don't change. I did that a lot during class today. So now we're going to complete the square. So check this part out.
Exact double it. Is it? It's squared. That's why we took half the middle coefficient squared and added it to both sides.
So back when we were factoring, square root of 1 is just 1. Square root of 16 is 4. So you could write this as x minus 4 squared, like this.
That's from the last video.
And then he square roots both sides to get this.
4 plus or minus the square root of 15. Can I simplify the root of 15? No.
And if we were doing that in our calculator, we would actually do the square root of 15, add 4, and then do the square root of 15 and subtract 4. I'm sorry, square root of 15 positive version to 4 and then the negative version to 4 and get our solution. So that's kind of where we ended class today. I hope you enjoyed today's recap. I'll actually attach this video if you want to watch it, the first 4 minutes in its entirety without all the skipping to help you make sense. So next week, that's what's up. That's what we're doing, completing the square. So we will start off our lesson on Monday with, sorry, I'm upside down again. We'll start off our lesson on Monday with completing the square, with some video reference and some examples and checkpoints and practice on Tuesday, and then meet up for the hangout on Wednesday. There is, after today, there's officially 4 weeks left of school, so that's pretty impressive too. So, the other half of the tagline, right? I'm sure you're waiting for that, is Yoda. So together, the tagline is Baby Yoda. If you watched recently on was it Disney Plus, if you've seen Mandalorian, I just watched that. Baby Yoda, he plays a big role in that series. So the tagline is in the subject line, Baby Yoda. Have a good weekend.